Yo, what's going on, and welcome back to another Genshin Impact video. And today we're going to be talking about the Cryo Regisvine, the boss that you're going to have to kill for all of your Cryo character ascension materials. Now this one can be found in the middle east of Mondstadt here, either this Temple of the Wolf domain or this waypoint down here are going to be your best bet. I like to go to the Temple of the Wolf because it's fairly fast to get there. Now, the Regisvines, again, are a little bit different from the Hypostasis and Oceanid. Where are we going? This way. So once you get to this temple, all you gotta do is get right over here, and there should just be a drop down into the actual boss fight. Now, if you don't want to start the fight immediately, you can jump to the edge. And as long as you're not within the circle, then you won't immediately start the fight. Now, the Regisvines work on a basis where you kind of want to, instead of them being vulnerable after attacks, you need to stun, or you need to break these little things that open up on them to actually stun them and allow you to deal damage. So in this case, both of the vines are going to start with a little like eye thing that's really low to the ground, and that's what you're going to have to break first. Now, they do a lot of attacks to defend themselves, like the sweeping circle attack, but once you break it, then you can go ahead and deal your first wave of DPS. For the Cryo Regisvine, I would definitely recommend bringing a fire character. Even if your Amber is not built, Amber is going to deal very well in this. So now, after you've broken that first little thing on the ground, the next thing that opens up is his little eye on his face. Now this one can be a lot more annoying to break if you don't have Amber, because Amber is a range character, so she can always hit that. But if you aren't using Amber, then you need somehow else to break it. In this case, once he does 3 of his ground slams, he's going to give you an opening to actually hit the eye. So I just try and nuke it with Zhangling's ultimate, which is why I save it usually for this part. And that'll give me a second DPS phase. Now you can always deal damage to the boss. It's just a lot less while it's not in that phase. So we can see that a lot of his moves aren't that complicated. He just does these moves that try and force you to get away, and then he does these ground slams. And then eventually we'll get another one of these little eyes to open up, which should be on the ground now. Yep, you can see it just opened up over here. And when he makes these fields of ice, you need to be careful, because if you're standing on them, they're going to do constant damage to you. So now he's doing an attack where he'll rain ice down, and it's just going to create a lot of chaos on the field. If you can put something out like what I did, where I put Gyoba down and I put Oz down, you can break the eye while you're dodging these attacks, and you don't actually have to stand on the ice that he creates. But again, if you have Amber, you can just shoot it from a distance. You can see how fast and easy this fight is because there aren't very many mechanics. It's just going to alternate between the eye that's on the lower part and the eye that's up in the middle of the flower. So depending on how much damage you deal, you can either kill it in like 2 rotations, or you can kill it in 3 like what I did. Or you can go more than that if the fight is harder for you. I would just recommend bringing Amber, because you can sit from a distance, and when he creates that ice field, you can dodge his attacks while shooting him with your charged fire shots, and the charged fire shots are going to break his eyes in a few hits. So while my lightning doesn't do all that much to him, the charged fire shots are going to do it very quickly. I think the vines are actually very easy, but it requires you to bring a very specific character, in this case fire, and for the next one we'll talk about that as well. But either way, hopefully you found this useful. I think the vines are very simple. You just need to understand how to actually deal damage to them. Either way, hopefully you found it useful, and I will see you next time.